The Korean War is often described as a modern conflict fought with jets, radios, and, industrial supply chains. What is less discussed is how quickly those systems failed when terrain, weather, and distance intervened. In the first winters of the war, units discovered that survival did not hinge on advanced weapons, but on whether soldiers could move, dig, repair, and sustain themselves without outside help. When resupply faltered, survival began to resemble something far older than mid-20th century warfare. It began to resemble Rome. That realization unsettles a common assumption. We tend to believe preparedness improves in a straight line with technology. Korea showed the opposite. When systems broke down, the most reliable solutions were often the simplest, and honestly, many of those solutions had already been refined nearly 2,000 years earlier by Roman legionaries. If this kind of historically grounded survival thinking is why you watch Backyard Wisdom, maybe consider subscribing. This channel focuses on preparedness ideas that have already survived collapse, war, and neglect, and still work. The Roman legionary kit was not a collection of antiques. It was a deliberately balanced survival system, designed for long movement, limited resupply, and constant exposure to uncertainty. Much of it has been forgotten, not because it stopped working, but because modern life made its lessons uncomfortable. The Roman legionary was expected to survive independently long before combat began. A Roman soldier was not issued gear on the assumption that help was nearby. The legionary was expected to march for weeks, build shelter daily, cook his own food, repair his equipment, and remain effective without external support. This expectation shaped everything he carried. In Korea, armies rediscovered this reality the hard way. Mountain warfare, frozen roads, and disrupted logistics meant that self-sufficiency mattered more than specialization. Roman doctrine began from that assumption rather than relearning it under fire. The Roman kit was therefore not optimized for peak performance on one day, but for sustained survival over months. The forgotten core of the Roman kit was not weapons, but tools. Modern discussions of Roman soldiers fixate on swords and armor. The legionary himself spent far more time using tools. The dolabra, a combination pick and adze, was central. With it, soldiers dug trenches, cut roots, split earth, and shaped defensive works. Every Roman camp was fortified nightly. This was not paranoia, it was survival discipline. Earth stopped arrows, wind, rain, and cold. It also enforced routine. Korean War veterans repeatedly noted that units able to entrench quickly suffered fewer casualties from artillery and exposure. A modern prep kit that ignores digging capability ignores one of the oldest survival truths. Repair tools were considered essential because, really, failure was inevitable. Roman legionaries carried basic repair implements: awls, spare leather thongs, iron fittings, and simple cutting tools. Equipment was expected to break. What mattered was whether the soldier could fix it immediately. This philosophy contrasts sharply with modern preparedness culture, which often assumes replacement rather than repair. In prolonged crises, replacement does not exist. Korea reinforced this lesson brutally. Boots froze and cracked, weapons malfunctioned, packs tore. Soldiers who could improvise repairs stayed operational. Those who could not became dependent liabilities. The Roman kit assumed repair as normal, not exceptional. Food preparation was treated as a health and morale system. Roman soldiers carried simple cooking equipment because raw or cold food was just unacceptable for long-term endurance. Cooking grain, boiling water, and preparing simple meals prevented illness and preserved strength. This was not about comfort. It was disease prevention and energy management. In Korea, units that could consistently heat food and water suffered fewer digestive problems and cold injuries. The Roman kit reminds us that preparation without preparation tools is incomplete. The Roman cloak was an early multi-use survival layer. The Roman segum, or paenula, functioned as clothing, insulation, bedding, rain protection, and shelter component. Its wool construction retained heat even when damp and resisted tearing. This was not accidental design. It reduced the number of items a soldier needed to carry while increasing redundancy. Modern kits often separate clothing, shelter, and sleep systems into specialized items. Roman design combined them, reducing complexity and points of failure. Foot care equipment was treated as mission-critical. Roman armies understood that movement depended on feet. Legionaries carried spare hobnails, leather patches, and tools to maintain footwear. Blisters and foot injuries were treated as serious threats. Water management assumed contamination as normal. Roman soldiers did not assume safe water sources. Containers were built for durability, and water was treated through boiling or, dilution with wine or vinegar to reduce risk. This was pragmatic risk management, not sanitation idealism. Roman survival planning assumed scarcity and contamination as defaults. The Roman kit supported constant movement, not static safety. Perhaps the most overlooked aspect of Roman preparedness is that it assumed motion. Camps were temporary, roads were built to facilitate movement, tools supported relocation, not permanence. Modern bug-out thinking often focuses on escape as a single event. Roman survival planning assumed indefinite movement through uncertain territory. Their equipment reflects this. Nothing served only one purpose. Every item justified its weight through daily use. Why this kit still matters for modern preppers? The Roman legionary kit addressed universal survival problems: shelter, warmth, food, water, repair, and mobility. These problems did not change in Korea. They will not change in future crises. Technology can improve efficiency, but it cannot replace these categories. When modern systems fail, older principles resurface immediately. Studying Roman equipment is not romanticism. It is systems thinking across centuries. The Korean War showed how quickly modern armies revert to older survival patterns under stress. When supply chains fracture, when terrain dominates, when weather becomes an adversary, the past returns. Rome did not survive by accident. Its legionary kit worked because it addressed reality honestly and relentlessly. Preparedness is not about fear, it is about continuity. The Roman legionary kit survived centuries of war because it respected human limits and environmental pressure. Understanding why it worked helps modern preppers strip away excess and focus on capability rather than novelty. If you value preparedness rooted in history rather than trends, subscribe to Backyard Wisdom and share this video with others who want survival thinking that has already stood the test of collapse. These tools and principles endured empires for a reason, and they are still worth carrying forward.